I'm feeling a couple of things. I'm feeling excited. I'm feeling ecstatic. But you know what I'm not feeling? I'm not feeling thirsty because you know what we just had? Yes, you do. It's a fantastic game feel, but we've got a fantastic game as well in front of us. Prosto versus Team Spirit. Scriv, take it away. Who do you think's going to take this? It's Train. It's going to be an interesting one.
Yeah, so Train, straight off the bat, CIS staple map, especially at this kind of level. So I'd imagine both these teams, it's towards the top end of their favorites in terms of the map pool, in terms of their picks and whatnot. But on that, I think Team Spirit, I'm not going to give like a hard prediction. We did kind of just say in the pregame that I feel like this one's going to be a little bit closer, definitely around the same kind of level. Prosso, I believe, just coming in this season, right, into MDL. So I think
No, they were there last season as well.
Oh, okay. Did they narrowly avoided relegation? But either way, not like a huge name in MDL. Team Spirit for me, I think, are just gonna edge it forwards, especially this Idis Balance kid. All right, real good. He's real good, for sure. So now he's gonna disappoint me as it always goes. But either way, into the pistol. Avon going to take a lot of early damage, but ultimately not a great deal of aggression. Ooh. However, Yukandar, nice little shot onto Chopper. Going to get the opening pick for Prosto.
That's a nice one. Okay. Fair enough. Anyway, so... Sorry, I got a little bit distracted by our producer's message. They're going in onto the B site, where Fleric will be standing guard with the USB, waiting for the peak to come in his way, but he misses his shots early in. Instead, it's Avon to come in along with Yekindar, who've got 2 quick kills. Fleric finally chiming in with one of his own, and now Sotfik, well, he's feeling like a little bit of a lonely boy, as he will get 1, but it seems like that'll be all, as Fleric will finish him off.
Fairly clean pistol coming in then from Prosto. I mean, ultimately working off of that opening pick. Again, this is something I'm probably going to mention quite a few times. That B bomb site, pretty easy to get the plant down, but the issue for the T side is keeping control of the site a lot of the time. We'll see here. I mean, that bomb plant's certainly going to help them out. They're going to go very safe, not going to buy up too much at all. Maybe going to try and go for another B bomb site plant. It looks that way. A couple P250s in play, but that's it. It's just going to be a straight up run on to B. Hopefully catch out this player up close and get the bomb down. Flourish, though, not getting cocky. Oh, and he's smart. He's a smart boy. Look at that nade damage. Could be an easy cleanup. Might just get taken down from the side, but no, I mean, he's staying alive here. Actually taking damage to his teammate. Taking damage on all sides. But still managing to stay alive. It's Kenzo on the other side of the map that will let the boys down. Flawless round not going to be coming in.
Samdai Young picked up that MP9 as well from Kenzor's dead body. That means he can try and go for some money. And who doesn't like some of that good old green? But will they let him get it? Nickelback. Man, I hate that name. Samdai Young's gonna have to take him down for me, but it seems like Nickelback will reign supreme once again. What is this? 2014 Spotify? Anyhow, I have to say, Scrib, I find it very entertaining how you, as we've got a pause going on, it's a technical if I'm not wrong, so I find it very entertaining how you refer to the players coming out onto scaffolding. They're like, oh yes, that's a good boy. Just as they're all, heading over. Like, oh, Flair got a good grenade there. Yeah, good boy. Good boy. Yeah. It's like a very affectionate, pet owner. It's quite fun to watch.
Yeah. But I mean, it was beautifully read. Like the timing.
Perfect. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. No, I'm not saying that he wasn't a good boy. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
That's one way to play.
I just love it. I mean, huge fan of that play. For sure. Not afraid to show it. So,
Absolutely.
And
absolutely.
It kind of bodes well for Prosto if everybody's feeling confident. Again, I think they're coming into this knowing that they are the slight underdogs, but can definitely win the game, right? It's not like they're up against a Vitality, or we would say an Ents, but obviously that's not really going to happen, is it, this season? But yeah, we'll see, though. Coming into this first rifle round, they do need to be aware of the fact that Team Spirit are going to have a lot more utility available to them than sometimes perhaps T-sides would in a third round buy. So, and Train as well, a map where you can throw a lot of utility from very far away from the bomb sites. Let's say that. So you can see utility come over from A, but it doesn't necessarily mean the ending play is going to be at A. They could be up the top of Pop Dog throwing those nades. You know what I mean? Or you can very quickly run into the brown holes and go B. They do need to be careful of that utility on the CT side for sure.
There's definitely a certain degree of flexibility in Train that perhaps certain other maps wouldn't afford to the same degree. Now, that said, Train's also a map where you can mess up pretty big time on the CT side, not just as far as terrorist utility goes, but as far as your own utility goes. With the amount of money you need to continually invest to, you know, block off IV, block off anyone coming from A main, block off early aggression, and at the same time you have to keep utility for the end of the round as well, because where would we be if we had no utility when all the terrorists are coming in with 40 seconds left on the clock? CTs have to be careful about that too. So Prosto, they're starting off on the favored side, but there are plenty of caveats for Spirit to try and worm their way in.
Hopefully not going to be waiting too much longer then. I'd imagine obviously it's a little bit more of a technical pause at this point.
But you know what this gives me time for, Scriv? This gives me time for the good old Harvey Rogers Scrivcast Twitter critique.
Right.
So Scriv is a caster whose Twitter game it's a little bit you know up and down. So I can't really figure out what he's going for. You know, his tweet to announce that we are casting this game is and I quote, "I like trains."
Right.
Unquote.
So
and before that, it was beep boop.
Yeah, that one, I don't know. I'm just, I've never, to be fair, you raise a good point. My Twitter game is a little bit, you know, I don't give hot takes. I don't, a lot of my Twitter is just retweeted and likes at the end of the day. You know, I'm a little bit of a sleeper on it, I guess. But I like trains. Okay.
That is true.
Obviously, we're on train. Okay. And where it comes from, there was some videos, I guess they circulated a little bit more, probably in the UK, because they were made by this like English guy. I don't know if you've ever seen the Asduff movies. From I've
seen the I Like Trains videos at least.
Right. There you go. That's where I'm trying to pull it from. I'm a meme bank
machine.
Right.
Yeah.
You know?
But you know,
so I'm pulling out classic.
So here's the thing with financial institutions. They often have all of their assets go rotten. So I don't know if you can tell where I'm going with this, Scriv, but
right.
Yeah. Hate
Bringing
to
up
break it
dead
to you.
memes, maybe not the best idea. Because we run into this issue of what are you talking about?
Yeah. See, that's kind of what I was going with. But you know what? I'm okay with I Like Trains. What I'm not okay with is live now game on. All I'm saying is you haven't capitalized the L. You haven't added a full stop.
Yeah.
And you've got a university degree in politics.
Right.
Listen, Scriv. I hate to break it to you, but you're not doing your degree justice.
I suppose. It's kind of the, I don't know, the ironic vibe. I don't know. It depends. If I'm making a super serious tweet, I'll use really good punctuation. But I think that was from like my own stream where I'm just like playing Dark Souls and stuff.
Well, so you know what? I'm going to bring you back to this one. As your Twitter, you know, the good old segment of Twitter has ended, but let's see what Kenzor can do now that we're back to the game.
Maybe something. One would hope. I don't know though. This is looking pretty good for Prosto early on. They've got a lot of damage. Their timings seemed really, really good. You know, they know Train is a map where, you know, obviously there's a lot of unseen areas initially for the CT side, but you can, as we've said, throw that utility down, and their timing just seems to be really good to get some nice early damage for free. So, yeah, they've essentially done enough damage to get a kill here, and if they can pull that into full fruition, it could be good for them. Coldy, playing it safe, though, recognizes the fact that it's very late econ control that they're going for. Probably heard that initial utility come through from the CT side, and the opening pick going to come in. Coldy gets another as well, and trades do come back through, but it's certainly the CTs having to recover things. However, they managed to do it. This balance going to be the only one left. It's all fallen apart for Team Spirit.
And now he's in a 1 versus 3. Bombs right in front of him, so close and yet so far, because he's got Avon to try and deal with, who will be peeking in towards him. iDisbalance sees the back of the player just barely, but in the meanwhile, from the side is Nickelback, and he takes him down. And that round, I mean, it started off a little bit slow for the side of Prosto. They ended up losing a few players here, and they're losing a lot of map control as well, but Pop Dog is where very often in this map we see players just really take control all over again. It's one of the most convenient rotation positions for CT sides as well. So obviously, if you're able to keep control of that, that's where you've still got some fantastic chances to take the round away. Now Spirit, they're on full deagles and a flashbang for Sotfik. Prosto, well, they're perhaps looking a little bit richer, a little bit better off.
Not the best of starts for Team Spirit, both in the round and the game. Okay. iDisbalance. Nice shot from him. That's kind of what you get, the crouching crab tapping, you know, those deagles, man. Gotta be careful, you gotta respect them. I don't think it's going to lead to a great deal, but all the same, that's what I was talking about. This kid, he's good. He's nasty. Yeah, and just taking Kenzor's head clean off. An absolute savage.
Yeah, Kindar. Well, he wants to get in behind the B players who are all going over. Scaffolding has to be taken care of as Flarich. Moving through, 45 seconds left on the clock. This would be a great time to chuck over that Molotov. Yekindar hasn't really made his way forward either, just quite yet. Flarich sees one, drops the bomb, and now he knows exactly where they're coming from. Almost gets a second, but Samdai Young comes in from the side. Avon now with a USB charging forward, AWP in hand now. Nickelback finds one, Avon makes it two. And Samdai Young will be the last casualty to go the way of Yekindar, who picks up an AK-47 for his troubles.
It is fairly costly, in all fairness, for the Prosto side, but I think ultimately, you know, the fact that Team Spirit don't win the round, they're okay with that, right? They do the damage, they get the bomb plant. It again is things coming into round number 5 there in this next gun round. But I feel like Train, a lot of the time it can be pretty close, especially with those deagles. A lot of long range angles that they can abuse, for sure. So you do need to give them the respect that they deserve, and I think towards the end, Prosto certainly did, but all the same, it's a hell of a lot of damage for very little spent. And it does mean that if Team Spirit end up winning this round, probably going to force Prosto onto a bit of an eco situation. I mean, their money is a bit up and down, depending on who you look at.
Damage
okay.
coming in, and Kenzor has had the chance to finish it off as well. Yekindar, now while he's just peeking through, Chopper gets him down. Very quick wide peek with the AK to overwhelm the inferior firepower of the AUG. He has to exchange quite a bit of HP for it. Softic and him both very low now, practically a breath away from death. Cleric still on the B side. He's been a rock for Prosto. But that rock might be meeting a little bit of contention soon enough, as they are angling their way near to Pop Dog. So not quite sure where they want to commit, but there's a player towards Ivy. An unorthodox position if you want to go for a B take. But you never really know, as they are seemingly committing to that. Flarich, no utility this time around, so he's playing closer to the ladder. Wants to make sure that he's not going to be exposing himself too much towards the scaffolding. Flashbang comes in, catches him off guard completely. He's blinded, but Avon comes in from the side to provide backup, but backup will be useless. Samdai Young will get that kill. Bomb will be planted, but from behind comes Nickelback, and now bomb can no longer be planted. Nickelback considering just peeking forward, but Avon has already taken down Samdai Young. Sotfik will be forced to try and fight his way out. 7 HP on him. AWP has to be saved.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the timing on the flank really... Sotfik was coming towards that B-bomb site, but wasn't quite fast enough. I guess watching the hard flank as opposed to the Pop Dog flank, and they just weren't really prepared. Again, Team Spirit, it's messy. They make their way into the site, they get the trades, but they're never really able to solidify the control. And Prosto, again, it's very similar to the start of the previous game where they are in the driver's seat. They're the ones that are controlling the pace, controlling the overall decision-making of both teams, it seems. Team Spirit just playing into their hands time and time again. Unfortunately, another technical pause here, as we have had a player drop out on that T side.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. It's scary very early on. Sure, it's a more CT-sided map, but all the same, it's just a real difficult start. Yeah,
Oh, that too.
It's just not looking good, right, for Team Spirit,
So, Scriv, does this mean we're going back to our weekly schedule segment of what is Scriv doing next on social media?
I mean, yeah, I don't mind. I don't post that
Scriv.
much on Twitter. I don't. This is one of the reasons, right? So that people can't pick my Twitter apart. You know what I'm saying?
Scriv, do you have an Instagram?
Yes.
Is it public? Scriv.
Yes, and no to your next question because I know what it's going to be.
Wait! I know where to find this. Let's see. Is it Instagram.com/scribcast? No, it's not. Okay.
No.
Okay, I'm out of ideas, guys.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to figure it out. Trust me.
That's
That's for another time.
Well.
That's for another time. All right. Also, I mean, to be fair, and I don't mind putting myself out there, obviously. Otherwise, I wouldn't be in this kind of an industry. But without having it up on stream, it's kind of a bit difficult to. You'd have to describe everything that's going on in a picture. So.
Well,
and
anyway.
again, I don't post too much to Instagram. I'm not massive on social media where I'm kind of like every day posting. Maybe I should be. A lot of people do, but it's just not as much for me. You know what I'm saying? I don't have anything against it. It just, I think, once you start, it's kind of a little bit of a dangerous precedent because maybe that one time you say something you shouldn't, and I mean, it's on the internet forever. You know what I mean? So I prefer with social media to err on the side of caution, especially on like Twitter, where things that you type can sometimes often come across misinterpreted. Because like it's hard to get tone and things like that into written word. So yeah.
Well, that's just how it is. Anyway, so I think we're about to have a resume soon, so let's try and get the audience back in the headspace for a game as Prosto versus Team Spirit. Well, it's been a good showing from Prosto so far, but the question is, on their terrorist side, what can Spirit really do to try and adapt? And this is a strategy that I saw the other day, which is where you can actually go for a little bit of an interesting double fake towards the B side, which is where you just kind of start throwing over smokes from the A side, and that's where like you mentioned, Train's one of those maps where you can throw smokes from a lot of different areas. But the good thing about that for the terrorist side is that the time that it takes for the trajectory of the smokes is quite high. So that means you can actually pull off a nice little smooth rotation towards the other side and come back, and the smokes will still have about 8 seconds left on the clock if you've got two players who are already close to B and they can make some significant noise. And that's always good because you can at the very least make sure that the players from the CT side on B will be forced to stay on that particular site. That's not something we see teams really pulling too often. It's a bit more of a set piece. It's a bit more of a, hey, things are going really badly wrong for us. Let's try to find anything new that we can. But I think Spirit might kind of be getting close to that point.
Yeah. Desperate is a word that springs to mind, obviously. I think it's going to be tough for them. As you can see, they're going to be buying into this round, but there's not a great deal available for them. I feel like teams like this, I have to be honest, when you get to this point in kind of the online, early in the league, some of these tier 2, especially the CIS teams, will just continue to force buy. And a team, for me, that's a really, really good, or I suppose poor example of this is Windigo, right? They have, for me, I feel like they've got the skill, especially like in the hands of Poison, to break through and really make it to the upper echelons. But some of their decision-making as a team is just so foolish. And I fear Spirit are starting to spiral down the same kind of road. I mean, they've got money coming into this one, but it's not great. You know, it's not ideal. Obviously, now we're going to be getting back into the action with Chopper rejoining. So we'll see. Maybe they can make it work, but they really do need to be careful not to spiral into, you know, force buying themselves into oblivion, really.
That's where all the fun's at, though. But you know what? They've got a chance before that spiral begins. They've got a full buy coming through on Spirit's side. The Galil on Sotpick will be a little bit weaker, but let's see what they can actually make happen with the overall purchase. Even will be peeking out soon. Beautiful shot onto Ida's balance, and well, the second one almost coming in, and it will eventually be Coldy to overwhelm.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, there's some aggressive decisions being made by the CD side. I was going to say, you know, the first face, good stuff. You know, you pick up that opening kill, go for a second one, try and catch them off guard. But by the time the third one comes around, they're ready for that peak. You know, it's definitely getting greedy. Nickelback, always a tough one. Got to be ready for that. In all honesty, I mean, players go for that so very often. It's Sundai Young who needs to be aware of the fact that he's in front of the wall bang. Back into
Definitely.
a 3 versus 3.
And this is where it's all in the ball of the tease. But as I say that, Kenzor's taken matters into his own hands as well. He's moved into T main, waiting for the push to come in. Playing this little off angle. And now he hears the footsteps. Should have gotten the duel, but Coldy wins it out with the AK. And now, because of that, the rotation will be slow. Nickelback and Flareich will be making their way over. But in the meanwhile, Spirit has made way onto the site. Have found a bit too much leeway. Incendiary gets shucked out as well. Nickelback boosts it up and gets the kill on a shot fake. The bomb still in the hands of Coldy, though. 22 seconds on the clock. Coldy gets taken down courtesy of the grenade. And now 1v1. Chopper found the first, and he's got two. The first round on the board for Spirit.
Very messy one. Very, very messy one. And you kind of have to look to the early round from Prosto where, especially Yukandar just going flying up Pop Dog with like hardly any information at all. Maybe it comes off the back of Haven, I believe, with the peaks, with the AWP, of course. You know, saying, oh, they're all going B, they're rushing B, guys. You know, it's difficult to tell without hearing what exactly went down. But it really did cost them, especially Yukandar flying, like I say, up Pop Dog needlessly, straight into his death. I suppose he gets the information that they aren't rushing B, but what use is that at the end of the day? And they almost recover it back, but you have to look to the fact if he'd have lived, if he'd have just stayed at the bottom of Pop Dog for a little while longer, they might actually have taken the round. So, yeah, Team Spirit kind of handed that one, but we'll see what they can do with this opportunity.
Kenzor, he's been spotted. Disbalance, not able to get the shot off though. Kenzor, shoulder peeking out. Disbalance, not even going for the shot after the smoke has bloomed, which is kind of surprising. You generally do see that. 4 players on this A site. Rotation coming in from Avon as well. Now you've got 5. They don't have utility, but they're going for the gamble. And with a flashbang into A main, they might just get the information they need. Yekindar moving forward. And he will be overwhelmed by Sundai Young, who's already got 1, even though it was just a Galil. 4 HP on him. Not much to work with now. It's a crossfire. Coldy takes down his teammate. Flareich is able to take him down in turn. And now to 2 versus 3. Avon coming in from the B site will be trying to intercept. And Yekindar, M4 in hand. He is a monster. And I disbalance. Well, with 20 seconds left on the clock, he decides to switch to the AK, and he will pay the price for that. 6-1, Spirit immediately being taken down.
Yeah, I mean, Spirit just looking kind of lost there on the T side. Again, like we've said, it is a CT side of map, but that was their opportunity. Sure, they're still up against a pretty decent buy from Prosto, but just sort of running out willy-nilly. The guy on low HP goes out first. It's not the best idea when you're looking to trade, because Yukandar, as we saw, is easily able to reset for that second. And now, here it is, the force buys, the AK, it's like, Balance is like, oh, well, I can get an AK. Everybody else sort of spends half their money, but now, if they lose this round, he, you know, isn't really going to have money to get that AWP that he wants. Like, it's just a bit all over the place.
One might even say that his money would be disbalanced.
Hey. I mean, it's a good adjective for it, right? To be honest.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, it's wrong, but it's okay. I don't think disbalance is a word, but hey, you know what? If he goes far enough, which I'm sure he has the potential to, he may as well coin it. Even though he's looking to coin some blood on the floors, and he will get it with the help of Flair's Molotov as well. Flair's comes in with the MP9, gets 2, and that will be his third. Looking for 4, but it will be Avon to finish things off. Both of them cleaning up the entire site perfectly.
Yeah, just kind of going bounding through as you saw, like the Molotov down. They didn't seem to care. I just ran through it. He was on like 20 HP before he even faced off against anybody. So the AK really not doing anything. Now going to be in on the Galil and the chest armor. 3 M4s in play. They're going to be loving that. So again, not really ideal. Some quick utility over the top here of the A sites. Ultimately not really following up, at least for now.
There goes Nickelback to try and stop them as they actually were turned away, but the flashbang is enough to, prevent him from getting the kills. The second flash as well. They're so effective with their utility usage when they're going onto this site. 2 of the players completely blinded up, and that's just an easy kill for them. The third, sure, that's a nice little aim duel. But in a 2 versus 5, with money being low, Prosto has no choice but to save.
Yeah, it works out this time around, right? The fast, aggressive, in-your-face rounds, sometimes, well, I would say the vast majority of the time, it's not been going well for Team Spirit, but in this round, they catch off with the flashbangs, with a bit of a timing play. They throw out the initial smoke, then slow it down, and Prosto get caught adjusting to different positions. Get caught being like, oh, maybe they are going B. I can push up a bit more aggressively, try and catch them off guard if they come back around to A later on. But it wasn't later on. It was, instead of being immediately, it was just kind of 10 seconds later. And I would say the first 2 kills, they caught 2 players off guard with their positioning. So Team Spirit, a little bit of a mind game going on, and it works out pretty perfectly.
Will it continue to work out, though, is the question. They avoided Fleric and Avon, both of whom are sitting on 11 kills apiece, so they're the big boys off the CT side. Now, they're both still over towards the B site. If they can continue to avoid the 2 big bad wolves, that could be a recipe for success for them. Kenzor, tagged down a little bit by a grenade, but once again, we see Nickelback getting aggressive early in towards T main. Yeah, Kendar decides not to try and take control of Pop Dog just yet. He will stay conservative. And meanwhile, Nickelback waiting for Coldy's peak to come through. Coldy very slow as he goes forward. Sotfik and Samdai Young are both able to drop down together. Nickelback finds 1. Nickelback makes it 2. Beautifully done. And that gives enough space for Kenzor to come in from the side. Avon and Flairich also on the side. Kenzor takes down the bomb carrier from the train. And that means that Flairich has more than enough time to reposition himself. And Avon finding 1 as well. Samdai Young alone versus 3. Good grenade thrown forward. Could have taken down Avon, but falls just a little bit short. The bomb is too far away. There's 30 seconds on the clock. At this point, he's just desperate to find anything. He's just desperate to maybe even walk away with this AK. And then, well, seems like he might be given that option, but instead it's time for him to charge forward, and into the jaws of death he goes. Kenzor will be the man to deliver it.
Yeah, and I mean, thank God Nickelback steps up there just outside Connector. Yukandar, again, questionable decision from him. He hears them dropping Pop Dog, surely, after the flashbang. He knows that there's at least 1 person there, generally speaking, right? And just peeks in by himself, no utility help at all, straight into his death. And actually puts Nickelback in a really awkward situation where he knows there's people coming in from Pop Dog. He can hear them in T-Con, yet he manages to step up. So it's an even better feat when you kind of consider what had happened previously. Yeah, Yukandar as well, kind of lagging behind in terms of the kills, etc. I don't know, I feel like he needs to watch his aggression, let's say. Oh,
Ooh.
cold. the nose dem angles.
Beautiful, but Avon in the meanwhile is very quick to get a return frag. Maybe not through a smoke, but you know what? It works anyway. It was with the help of a flashbang, and it takes him down. Now Nickelback moving through. Chopper next to fall. Nice grenade comes into play. Takes Yekindar down to 50, and Coley wants to push through the smoke, but decides against it. No flashes to help him out. 3 versus 4. His balance. With the AWP peeking forward, sees the head but misses the flick. And that means Avon will be able to reposition, crouch down, and take him apart. Yekindar next to get a kill, leaving Sotvik alone to fight his way out. He's gotten 1 so far. Avon with the AWP's fallen, but Sotvik can't take away more. Nickelback, the man of the previous round, will be the one to finish off this one.
Yeah, I don't know. We saw flashes of hope from Spirit, you know, but again, it's kind of the crazy aggressive style, in-your-face T-side. It's very, very difficult to make it work consistently. If your skill level is, you know, or on the day, your skill level is a hell of a lot higher than your opponent's, it seems, then it definitely can work, right? You know, the plow, as we call it. Obviously, Virtus, although you're saying they're looking a little bit better, which I can kind of agree with.
Much better.
Definitely not quite the level that they once were as an organization. I mean, the team's completely different now, but yeah, the point I'm trying to make is this T side, you can't easily steamroll your opponents if that momentum is working out for you. But if you've just got this one-track style of play where you're just trying to be aggressive, it can be very, very easy to read and rip apart, which is exactly what we're seeing here from the side. I just balance out, ever consistent on the AWP. Will manage to just get the pixel frag onto Kenzor. Team Spirit, for the first time in a long time, got themselves an opener, but a good response from Prosto, pulling it back into a 4 versus 4.
And Prosto, they're really looking good at this point. Yekindar coming in from the sidelines. Coley is taking the peek, but Coley misses the angle. He doesn't realize he's not positioned far enough. Yekindar is able to cross all the way over. He's even looking to peek forward, but misses the shots, and Coley recovers. Avon now with the AWP and a grenade chucked forward will have the space to try and work with, but he realizes there's 2 players coming in from the other side as well, and he's being caught in between a pincer, but he will try and fight his way out with the help of Nickelback, who's taking point towards T main. Nickelback sees the legs of one, will take down the bomb as well. Avon looking for the players to push through Ivy's side, but he's been brought down. So it's all on Nickelback's shoulders. As Flares comes in from behind, and he will be left alone. I disbalanced 3 kills so far, looking to get the bomb plant down. 5 seconds on the clock. Flarich in a 1 versus 2. He's been so good on the B site, but it's time to rotate. It's time to show that he can put up anywhere, and he's putting up all right. He gets the first, and he's looking for the second. Knows exactly where Coley is. Coley not peeking out wide, playing this perfectly, but now, as soon as he looks away, Flarich will be taken down. It's a good attempt, but it's an unlucky one, as Team Spirit make it a 3.
Real tough. I mean, Nickelback, again, just consistently seems to be stepping it up. 15-7, pretty nuts considering we're only 13 rounds in. You have to give him kudos for that. I mean, Avon's 14-3 as well. So you got 2 individuals really stepping it up here for the CT side, that is for sure. And as you've said, Flarich on the B-bomb site, although he's not seen as much action, has still been pretty damn good. But that round, all about Idis balance on the AWP. I think he is certainly capable of rounds like that. He is at the moment. Lacking in the consistency, I think, of every single round picking up opening frags, but he kind of has that smoother effect, I suppose, where every now and then he can pull out a big round, and it really obviously has a huge impact. As you can see, his round's going to lead to probably another for Team Spirit, and maybe a chance for them to get back into it. Ooh. Kenzor, though.
Looking clean. But can he clean up is the question. The sweeper is on duty. Kenzor, he's got the mop, but can he use it? Moving through with the Deagle. Couldn't pick up the AK and almost gets a kill on a Sotpick as well. So close, and yet just not enough. Nickelback as well with the USP now, looking to take down Sotpick, looking to finish what his teammates started with the Deagle, but he will be overwhelmed, get some damage in, but it's not enough. Yekindar instead will be forced to do the heavy lifting, trying to bait out a shot from Sotpick, but Sotpick will be taken down nonetheless. Now he needs a straight up One shot, headshot, and he almost gets it as well, but someday Young will get it to 3 kills. But it's a costly round for Spirit, and they don't have money to buy up in this one with full utility.
Yeah, again, it just seems this messy, chaotic style that they've got on the T side right now, which I suppose, you know, a little bit, again, we were all expecting coming into it slightly. CIS T sides can sometimes look like this. And it is really costing them. I mean, in a round that they just won, they've got 2 Galils, they've got 1 player with no utility at all. It's really not ideal. A 1-for-1 trade out towards Ivy, but Kenzor in with 2. Again, though, there's just people everywhere for Team Spirit. Frosto, in these past couple rounds, have fallen flat to this aggression. And in some ways, that is bad for Team Spirit, because they're going to have to make it work time and time again. You know,
well, fairness, there's only 2 rounds left on their T side.
True.
Frosto now on the B site, where Fleric hasn't had much action in a while, and now it's time for action galore, but he's only good for 1 and no more. Avon now has to step up. There's a Molotov hindering his spot, but Kenzor is the one coming in from the side, the man of the hour, the man with 2 kills, looking for more, looking for 4. As it is Samdai Young and Sotfik. Careful around the pop dog area, but they've given up so much space as a result of that. Kenzor could theoretically just smoke this ramp off, but he's waiting for Avon to come in as well from the side. Smoke comes in towards the bomb, going for the defuse. It's a 10-second one. He doesn't have a kit. This is so difficult to work with. Avon as well comes from the side, and he's overwhelmed, and they don't have money now. Frosto losing out that round at a crucial point. Spirit could take it a 6.
Yeah, I feel like that one's a real tough one. I don't know about the player with the rifle getting on the bomb. Honestly, I don't know about going for it. I feel like they should have just backed off. And you know, gone for the 10-5 half. But now they make things a bit more difficult because they've got 2 scouts, a FAMAS, a Deagle. Not looking too good. Yakanda are going to lose that battle, of course, up against the other scoped weapon that we see a lot of, the AWP of Eye Disbalance. Enzo will find 1 for his team, but it costs him a fair chunk of HP, and things really not looking too good. Man advantage for Team Spirit, and the aggression has finally broken the CT side towards the end of the first half. The 9-6 half, if it happens, is not bad at all. Eye Disbalance really been given a lot of opportunities on the AWP, to be honest. They keep facing him. And he's taking them, looking for his 4K. Going to be denied, but ultimately a pretty clean end to the half from Team Spirit.
And that's the important bit, because they're up to 6 now. It's a stable point to be on your T side. Of course, you would have liked to see a little bit more, considering how poorly off they were in the beginning of the half. But they've definitely shown that they've got some steam, they've got some wind in their sails, and they've got the chance to try and contest Frosto still. And into the second half we go.
Excited to see what Spirit have got, to be honest, because I mean, like we're both saying, they have given themselves a really big opportunity here. Definitely doable. Obviously, they don't have the lead, but it's a heavily CT-sided map. Behind Nuke, which I don't think we're going to see a great deal of in the league play. It is one of the most well, it is the most CT-sided map in the game. So we'll see. Pressing out towards
and
A.
They go. Yakindar finds 1 despite the smoke. Avon with the flashbang again. They're good with that. Avon though now needs to push forward towards Olaf. Samdai Young tag down to 28. Now will very slowly up players coming over towards him. Expended all his bullets and is forced to back off to safety. Bomb's been planted as it is. Kenzor as well. Looking for more. And now he's seen 2. Tag down 1. Coldy should be next to follow. Now that Chopper has been taken apart, but Kenzor instead is going to settle for Samdai Young. Shotfik playing from heaven, sent to hell, and Coldy now in a 1 versus 5, and he will get nothing.
Really good round coming in there from Nickelback. But ultimately, I think Team Spirit giving a bit too much room to Frosto. That A bomb site, the Glocks can very easily close the gap. You know, you need to be set up well. You need to be hitting some clean headshots, and it seemed everybody missed their initial shots and then just dropped way back. Whether it be Heaven, Ivy, or Camera, we kind of saw, and it just allows the T's to close the gap. Again, we talked about it in the previous game. I'll probably keep talking about it until they change the pistols, which I don't think is ever really going to happen. But the Glock train, it is deadly. You cannot afford to let them get close to you because you're just going to get body shot by like 3 or 4 different guys and it's all over.
Ooh, Kenzor was so close to having his teammates lost, but he's able to save them. Sotfik and Goldie, though, with those scouts, using the earlier damage to their advantage. Beautiful double nade will take down Kenzor, who is on the bomb site. Nickelback now closer range angle. Sotfik peeks in, but Sotfik has an AK as well. Instead, he's overwhelmed by Avon. Nickelback still continuing through. Ivan gets another, and Sundai Young is left alone, and alone he will die. Were you just dabbing?
Yeah, pretty good round from Avon, you know what I'm saying? I was excited to see that. It was good. It was a pretty good round overall. There was some pretty crazy shots from everybody, if I'm honest. And Team Spirit, because of that buy, you're going to have to wait a bit longer. On the CT side, going for the second round force buy, I don't think is wise. Especially when you are already 4 rounds down after losing the pistol. It now puts them in an even worse spot. They got a bunch of nades, but really what's the plan here? Like, how are you going to make this work? I think Prosto are in a really good position to just clean this game up. If they keep this up, they win the next rifle round. Suddenly it's 13-6 and you got no money. So it's scary for Team Spirit.
I mean, even now, they're only going to be getting $2,400 for losing this round out. That's not really a particularly large amount of money, considering the fact that, you're still on the CT side. You still want to have a bit more utility going your way. Even with the Mac-10 still looking to be aggressive, even with 10 HP. Hoping to get some money, but it seems like he will be denied. Nickelback will be the man to scout out Sotfik, and Yekindar will finish him off. 12-6. Now Spirit. Wait. Oh, never mind. It's not 2,400. I miscounted the loss bonus. Whoops. Okay, so they've got enough for a full buy at the very least. Still, a little bit light as far as, offensive grenades goes. They don't have that many HEs, that many Molotovs, but they have to make work with what they have, but it's not too bad. And they go to A main. Seems like the bomb will actually still be hovering around Pop Dog, so they can still choose to go for an A split with 2 players going down Pop Dog and Flarex serving as a distraction. And that might be the call because Sotfik, well, he's had grenades chucked over towards him. 1 man over to Ivy as well. Kenzor hasn't revealed himself though.
Again, I mean, Prosto looking really good with the timings and the nades and things. So much nade damage done, and they've barely had anybody, seen or given the opportunity across to return said nade damage. Sure, it doesn't look like a great deal if you look at the individuals, but if you look at it across the team, it certainly makes things easier, especially when you're looking for those trades, etc. On that T side, the fundamentals of the T side. It just makes their life a hell of a lot easier.
Look at Kenzor, look at Kenzor. He's already snuck through Ivy and he's got 1. Could have been a lot more damage than that. But Coldy is able to stop him in his tracks. 40 seconds left on the clock and Coldy's still alive. Reposition himself for Olaf and let's see what he can do from this angle. He's going to be overwhelmed as Nickelback crouch peeks in and will shut him down. Disbalance now on the bomb train. The young star has to step up, has to prove his stardom, and well, he's got the first shot, but Avon immediately with the response, Flarek doubles it up and leaves Disbalance alone versus 3. Flarek even getting a little bit trigger happy as he does deal some damage to Nickelback as well. Disbalance will be forced to back off. No money for Team Spirit.
Yep, and that's exactly what I was talking about. That second round force buy. It really ends up costing them. I mean, they kind of brought it close in the moment, but they had to win it. You go for a force buy like that, it's really gonna hinder you in the future, as we can see. I don't think they're gonna hunt Disbalance too hard here, especially because obviously the money, but like they don't really have the numbers, to face that up with 3 or 4 people at once. So he can quite easily mow them down. Suppose Nickelback getting close, but again, still not really looking to commit to the hunt.
And I think this is where, I mean, it kind of shows the kind of player Idis Balance is, that, okay, fine, he is a promising young player who has shown flashes of brilliance, but it's not like he's a player who, if you're playing up against, like, say, Simple or, you know, even Guardian, even though Guardian is a little bit up and down these days, or, you know, Oscar, someone like that, where you're saying, okay, they have an op, they can literally ruin us the next round. We have to hunt them. And that's another element of pressure that maybe you're lacking a little bit. Now, Samdai Young does have an MP9 over towards Pop Dog, and we know that that can be a gun that gets jiggy with it. So, could expect to see a certain degree of aggression coming in, but Copper with the Deagle on the B site will be main man facing off versus 4, it seems like, as utility is deployed.
Towards the B play, going to be an interesting one. A lot of deep smokes, a lot of deep Molotovs as well. Prosto really showing how prepared they are here, especially up against the weaker buy. I mean, you've got to respect that they're going for this, and there's nothing Team Spirit feel that they can do. Flash not going to work at all onto Idis Balance, so he will at least be able to take down Nickelback, but they know where the AWP is. They know that they don't need to deal with him. Just keep away from him, ultimately.
And the important thing is Kenzor is coming in from behind as well, so he could be the ultimate spanner in the works. Now, there is a chance for Samdai Young to get a few kills over here, but Kenzor's already come through. Kenzor's found 2, and Coldy, sure, he shuts him down, but it's too little, too late. Coldy is left alone, and he will run away with the AK. Knows that he needs to try to save whatever face he can, because that's pretty much all they have to take away from this round. Coldy will try to get a few kills, but even that will be denied. 14-6, Spirit is being completely crushed.
Yeah, I think this next round kind of goes without saying. They need to take it. Double up, set up, getting a wee bit desperate. But ultimately, Costa, their T side, looking really, really good. Team Spirit, some questionable economic decisions, I had said. CIS, their region, kind of famous for it at this level, or infamously. They pull it out and really... It just doesn't work out a lot of the time. You know, you force buy a bit too much, guys. Used to be the French. I mean, they still kind of do. But I have to say, you know, watching a lot of Tier 2 Counter-Strike, it just really falls apart for them. However, nice couple of openers coming in for Team Spirit into this round. We'll pull them into a 4 versus 3 quickly. With a lot of time remaining. I mean, Prosto, it's going to be hard for them to regain the lead, I feel.
Try they must. As Fleric, the master of the B site on CT, but perhaps it is time for him to prove his worth and test his mettle on the T side too. There isn't that many players over there, so if he wants to start pushing through now would be a good time. Kenzor finding space into Ivy, but Idis Balance is checking the angle perfectly, and he will get that kill. Bomb in the hands of Avon. Well, he has a chance to just peek forward, baits out the shot as well, re-peeks, and that was a mistake. Could have maybe waited for flares to come through from the other side, but Idis Balance will now just be able to pick them apart 1 by 1, 14-7. And Prosto, they lose out the round off the back of a few nice pickoffs from Spirit, and Spirit are able to keep their head level and keep their double ops in their hands. The next round will still be a strong point of contention from them, but let's see what Prosto has to bring to the table. They've gone for full AKs, no AWPs, could just be a straight up execute on the ace side to try and diminish the value of the double off setup. Here they go. Samdai Young grenade will not be doing any damage whatsoever, but his M4 will. Coldy picks up the AWP kill. Kenzor responds immediately and with 2 and puts it into 3 versus 3, but Sotfig quick to reconvert the advantage in their favor. Nickelback and Yakandar now left versus 3.
Looking good in these past couple of rounds for Team Spirit, but it is that age-old question. Is it too little, too late? A hell of a comeback they're going to have to mount. Really need to change things up entirely, I would say, as a squad. I mean, I'm talking like they're winning this round. You never know. 2 versus 3 is definitely possible. Maybe not so much. 1 versus 3? Also not going to happen.
A little
Unfortunate.
bit harder.
Yeah.
Slightly. And that's where, I mean, you know, pause is called. They're making sure that Spirit can't really pick up too much steam. This is where, you know, they don't have too much money to work with. Just go for a safe, secure eco. Make sure that your next round is a little bit more punch packed in behind those guns and see how that works out. I don't know if this is a technical or a tactical.
Trying
to find out.
We are getting.
That's true. Okay, it is. Really, okay, yeah. That's nice. You know, it was a little bit
I would imagine
from the previous.
Frosto talking things over, deciding what they're going to do in the next rifle round. Because obviously, not a great deal coming into this. But yeah, it's a good point that you raise. I suppose one of the things with obviously the Esea client is we can't see the chat, can't see when they call in those pauses. Which is not the end of the world, but it certainly does help to get a bit of an idea. You can kind of guess, though, when it becomes a technical pause at the end of the day.
Oh, yeah, that's for sure. When it's been paused for 3 minutes, that's generally a good idea. Molotov stop Ivan from pushing forward. The early kill they got was able to net them a gun as well in the hands of Nickelback, so that's a little bit more they have to work with. That's a little bit more for Spirit to worry about. The Deagle's already very potent, and you never know what can happen if Nickelback comes in from behind with a nice little flank, the way Kenzo was able to pull off earlier. The M4 itself can be particularly deadly as well. Inching through, Coldy on the other side, looks away at the wrong point. Might end up regretting it as they all peek through collectively, but Coldy's got a shooting range, one by one. And they will all fall down. Bomb is going towards the B site, though.
Or is it? I mean, there's a Molotov there. All right, they are going to wait for it. They're going to get the bomb plant. I would be happy with this.
Oh! The double.
All right. I was going to say a bit more damage, you know, and it could be good for them, but the posthumous nade coming in from Chopper. Beautiful.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely gorgeous. You don't see that every day of the week, you know? 14-9. I can't remember. I think a game had that though, like a posthumous grenade feature. I just can't remember which game it was though.
I think it might have been like, well, so Pod 4, well, if that's what you're on about, like the perk.
Maybe. Yeah. Maybe. Anyhow.
The most annoying perk known to man. Where are my fellow gamers?
Well, yeah. That's something for a later time, as we will have Chopper, who's feeling some annoyances coming his way as well. Coldy, in the meanwhile, swats away one of them. Kenzar, taken down. And Prosto has been hemorrhaging early kills again and again. This is where Samdai Young is feeling a little bit more confident, just holding the angle on Pop Dog as a result of that. Even if they drop down, he feels like he can get a quick kill. Ivan considering pushing through, but so far not too successful. Samdai Young should be having a little bit of aggression coming his way. Grenade right to his chest. Still not much damage. That's damage though. Yekindar drops down with a man on top of him, and he's able to get a quick kill. Chopper takes the chance to reposition himself, go over towards the ladder, climb up and take control of the scaffolding himself. Make sure he's got an off angle with 45 seconds left on the clock. It's very important. Ivan playing from T main. It will be Chopper to scout out some information, and he will be seen as well as they're heading in onto the site. It comes down to whether Yekindar can take him down or not. So Yekindar peeks out, but Chopper gets the kill. He's even considering moving forward, but in the meanwhile, the back lines is where the action will be had. Nickelback moving through towards the smoke. He's already crossed it. 20 seconds left on the clock. He sees one, he sees two, and he's got them both. And now it all comes down to both these players who are coming over from T Connector. Nickelback and Ivan, what can they do? Ivan has been taken down already. 10 seconds on the clock. Nickelback has to fight his way out, and he's trying hard, but it just won't be enough.
Yeah, it's looking good from Team Spirit a lot of the time, you know. Their individuals really stepping things up. Coldy, 24 frags right now. Highest fragger on the server as well by some... Oh, no. Nickelback, 26. All right. My eyes deceived me. Don't know why I thought that was like 20, but nonetheless. he's doing well, right? He's stepping it up for his team is the point that I'm trying to make, especially in that round. Now we're into the double up setup, so certainly feeling it after that 2K at the end. And again, it's the early picks. Prosto, it looked good in places for them, but Team Spirit, once they've started to mount this comeback, it's really been happening for them. The Collat lining up there, but unfortunately not going to come through.
Absolutely.
Not recovered now by Nickelback.
Nicely done by Nickelback. He found one, looking for more, but it will be unsuccessful. 14-11 Spirit. They haven't just taken control. They are looking like they have put themselves in a position to take the game. Because right now, in Prosto, they're going for the same things again and again. They're bleeding picks over towards Ivy repeatedly. B side seems to be completely off limits to them because they just can't make it happen early in. And this slow, methodical play isn't working. Maybe just a bull rush over towards A, maybe just a bull rush over towards B, just try and make something happen off the back of sheer aim. That's always a possibility, but that's where you've got Samdai Young playing from Pop Dog. That's where you've got Cole Chopper all the way over towards that other side. Now you've got Coley going aggressive himself with that AWP, an Incendiary to follow up with the smoke as well, just to make sure that he can get away to safety.
They're getting desperate, though, on this Prosto side. You know, like, kind of a mistimed peak, I would say, by Kenzo. His teammates not really ready to help him out with that. And obviously, you got to look to Coldy taking pretty much the perfect angle in that scenario as well to be able to just get the kill and drop back for free. But at the same time, running through Molotovs, taking a lot of nade damage. Even seen like one person and he's on 4 HP. I don't even think he's been shot at by anybody. And he's almost dead. So, yeah, but I do kind of like your idea. You know, take a leaf out of the Spirit book, as it were, and go for a bit of a rush. Try and catch them off guard with nades in their hand, especially now that they're getting confident, maybe complacent in certain areas. It could certainly cost them if they get caught with nades out.
And the problem is, the next round will be a little bit poor as far as economy goes for Prosto, but right now this round seems to be quite out of their control, even if they've got the numbers to support it. But Ivan, he's making an effort to bring things back in their favor. Spirit are losing players as Samdai Young goes down as well. Coley may have responded, but he's only got an AWP over towards ID side. There's only so much you can do with that. The bomb might just be planted regardless. Yekindar gets it down, and on the other side comes Chopper. It all falls down to what he can do. If he can take down Yekindar, that would be a massive deal. But Yekindar's waiting on that angle. And Flareich and company now. Things are looking up for them. But Disbalance and Coldy are still alive. But not for long. Coldy has to go for an ace clutch if he wants to win this one out. Misses the shot. And it's a bit too close for comfort. This Prosto are going to be converging on him. But remember, Griv, they don't have money on Spirit's side either, so they might be able to squeeze together another buy, but it's not like they're looking fantastic so far. Trolley pushing through. Flareich takes down the op, and Disbalance will have money for an op next round. They've got 3 players with decent money, 2 with a little bit more shady.
And there it is. You know, the fact that it takes them so very long to get the ball rolling. Prosto is so far ahead that ultimately it's okay to allow that to happen. And also the fact that a lot of those rounds that they won on the comeback were not very close. Were not very decisive, rather. They were close, is you know, a bit of a Freudian slip. Apologies. But all the same, you know, their money is not built up, is the point that both of us, I think, are trying to make. Going for something a bit more unorthodox, though. Chopper going to get an opening pick onto Flareich, and he is being backed up somewhat by Samdai Young, who I think really wanted to get his hands onto a weapon. And he will. Wait, what? What's going on? I'm so confused. Chopper, mate, what are you doing? Alright. Whatever. But they've got the opening pick. That's the main thing here.
Well, they've got themselves another to go with it as well. Coldy backs off immediately after that. Og will hit its mark, and he re-peeks in for 2. Kenzar goes down, and now it's a 5 versus 2. Money or not, it seems like Ivan will be the man to fall along with his team. 15-12. Ivy is Spirit's domain. Prosto, stop going there. Prosto, stop trying to mess with Coldy. He's got 31 kills so far. Chopper's got 13. Samdai Young's got 13. And they're not even playing badly. It just shows you how little emphasis there has been on Pop Dog and on B side from Prosto's terrorist side.
Right. It's I mean, these scope weapons in Caldy's hands at the moment. He holds some really difficult angles with that orb. Hold the point, though, because there is going to be a rush straight in towards the B-bomb site here. Prosto coming at it with something a bit different, and Chopper, the only one here, gets caught off guard. Nade in hand. Bomb going to go down.
Oh!
Push forward continues right now from Prosto, and almost a 3K from Yukandar. Still 3 versus 2, though, in favor of the T-side, only just. Still got to maybe just hand it to this CT side because of their superior weaponry, but it's going to be a tough one. No mistakes from here on out in this post-plant scenario. Up on towards the bomb. The knife.
Just making sure there's no one there. Lyric as well. That might have actually bought him enough time to be able to peek through. Gets the dink as well, but it's not enough. Prosto. They just tried to run that setup with only pistols. If they had had weapons, I swear to God, that would have been a win one round. Like, that's kind of what I was talking about earlier. Spirit is not prepared for this kind of just ridiculous, oppressive aggression coming through from one specific point. I mean, Caldy is the only one who is repeatedly just completely dominating the game from Spirit's side. He's got 33 kills. The man is a monster. And now they've said enough is enough. They're going in from Team Main. They're going to be making sure that the rest of the players of Spirit have a chance to fight off any aggression coming in from the Prosto side. But things haven't been sped up. Not yet.
I think one of the difficulties as well of going for that fast round in the previous round with the pistols is Team Spirit are now going to be prepared for it. They're like, right, we almost got caught off guard there by a fast rush. So I can guarantee at the start of the round, you know, the in-game leader will be like, right, do this, this, and this. Or, you know, whoever wants to make a play will be like, I'm going to go here. But someone will have said, care for rush, guys. Because it happened, it almost happened, I should say, in the previous round. So kind of Prosto have wasted that element of surprise on a pistol round that ultimately didn't work out for them. And now they're back to tried
back to waiting for 30
tested.
seconds.
Yeah.
I mean, now Ivan, he will just go back to pick up the bomb. 45 seconds left on the clock. What are you going to do? At the very least, you have rotated Goldie away from the IV position, which means that Kenzor should be having a bit more of a healthy time trying to move through. But Goldie, now that he's heard that Incendiary, it all comes down to Yekindar, who's moved forward. He sees Didus balance, but he doesn't quite notice him in time, which means Samdai Young can take him apart. Goldie takes down Kenzor as well, and now on to the B side they go. Chopper. I mean, this is just going to be a nice little cleanup. Sure, it's 2 versus 3 right now, but you've got 2 D. I mean, at the very... You do have 2 ops coming through on the side of Team Spirit, so at the very least you have a chance to try and overwhelm those as Flareage, but it all comes down to him. He finds one, he's looking for more, he knows where Samdai Young is as well. Samdai Young on top will win that duel, 3 kills on him. And that's 15 to 14, they're fighting for overtime and they are putting up a show. Prosto, though, on the other hand, goddamn man, what's going on with their T side? Really? Like, Scrib is too nice to call you guys out for it. I'm going to go ahead and do it. Your play is too telegraphed. You're being overwhelmed with the exact same angles. And that's what's going wrong for you. Spirit is, you know, they're not doing anything outrageously innovative. They're just hitting their shots. And props to them. Not like that's not what's needed. But at the end of the day, you're continually giving them the exact same situation. It's practically like it's a dry run where Spirit is just training versus a set take.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a really good way of putting it. And thing is, as well, it's especially Coldy. It's like there's this guy at Ivy, we can't get past him. Let's keep forcing the issue because we have such a lead. And then it's like, oh, actually, wait, the lead's slipping away, guys. Oh, wait, maybe it's overtime. Like, you know, it's I would say the overconfidence a little bit maybe from Prosto to keep going for it and just be like, oh, it'll eventually work. It's fine. We can keep going for the same thing.
This is where they're going over towards B side. Smoke might prevent... Oh my god, Chopper through the smoke took down the bomb carrier. That is problematic. Idis balance as well. Finding 2, and that means this round is gone. Flare Edge versus 4. He'll do what he can, but it just isn't enough. 15-15. It's overtime.
Well. Certainly not what we expected going into that second half, especially after it, you know, got started. I don't know. It's surprising, to be honest.
Absolutely. And I mean, This is where it's overtime. This is where, you hope that maybe they can get some inspiration. Maybe they can get, a chance to turn over a new leaf. Say, guys, we had 15 seconds for a pep talk. Let's go. It's time. Spirit hasn't got anything on us. Or if you're on Spirit's side, you say Prosto hasn't got anything on us. It's a very interchangeable speech, That's kind of where I'm getting at. But double off setup comes through from Idis, Bounce, and Coldy. It's been working out well for them so far. Let's see how it goes. And Coldy, as always, the guardian of Ivy, waiting for the push to come through. And this time around, it seems like 3 players are going to be gifted to him. Let's see whether or not it is a Trojan horse. So,
I was just going to say, this is kind of the classic where Prosto finally get over that final hurdle.
Is that what we're calling Coldy now?
I guess, yeah. He's certainly he's like the final boss. He is the big boss. They're all level
bad wolf,
like 10, trying to take on the level 100 Mafia boss.
I mean, I was going to go with the big bad wolf who's going to blow the house down, but let's see whether this house is made of bricks, because Sundai Yog comes in from the side, and this man is a cyclone all on his own, because he's gotten 2 so far. Coldy fighting in the smoke with a P250, doesn't even need his weapon of choice. And it is a 5 versus 2. Nickelback and Flarix suddenly wondering, where did they all go? Nickelback about to erupt in song, Flarix about to do his best impression of a Disney princess. But, Disney princesses don't die, and I have a feeling that that might not be the case with Flarich pretty soon.
Yeah. A little bit more of a darker turn, maybe. Nickelback gonna fall. Flarich the only one left, but... I mean, he gets one. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. We're on 16k, of course. Team Spirit not really going to feel the burn. I suppose the double upsell fairly expensive. And if it did go completely pear-shaped for them, a couple rounds in a row, but that is not looking likely at the moment. Team Spirit just on fire, and it continues. Prosto just really unsure of what to do. I think we were 14-7 at one point in their favor. Team Spirit just pulled it out of the bag. Like I say, that overconfidence costing Prosto, because the momentum right now for Team Spirit is just at an all-time high, and they are ripping them apart. Again, early nade damage. They've not even seen anybody. High Disbalance going to be able to get away, having only taken 13 damage. Just, you've got to feel a little bit sorry for Prosto in places, but ultimately it should have been their game. My goodness.
Do you have to feel sorry for them? I'm sorry.
I mean, my guy just got sprayed down through a smoke.
That's true. I'll give you that. Yekindar, I have to feel sorry for him, but honestly, I feel sorry for Kenzar. Because Kenzar has had to go against Goldie every single time in IV. Even if the rest of his team abandons him, Kenzar's just that poor little guy who's like, guys, please stop making me go to IV. He's telling the in-game leader, they say it's not working. Please make it stop. Please. But Frost is just like, no, you will die for the cause. And well, let's see what the cause will be, because Shotstick is killing a few people for it for sure. Nickelback finds 1 to trade, but it's still 3 versus 4 with 40 seconds on the clock. Ivan equalizes, and now the question is, can Kenzar overcome the hump? Can he overcome the final boss, or will Coldy be able to dominate? And it seems like the latter is the answer, because Coldy's got the flick and he's got 2.
Well. Again, it continues. I think he might just hit the 40 here, and as you can see, the very, very top-heavy scoreboard for Team Spirit, especially on that CT side. I mean, he looked good on the T side, but on the CT side, he has stepped it up. And again, like you say, just be like, right, it's kind of the simple syndrome. Wherever Coldy is, we shouldn't be. Obviously, we can't take him down. He's just too good right now. We need to rush B. He's...
I agree with you, but at the same time, the difference is in the Simple syndrome, Simple actually changes positions. Goldie has legitimately been on the exact same position for like 15 rounds straight.
Right. It's a bit questionable.
So yeah. And props to him. He knows what's working for him. Yakindar finds 1, finds 2. It's a good start. It might be one of the rounds where they're looking a little bit better, but Coldy is still alive. And with this man on the server, anything is possible for the boys in blue. Kenzar slowly just backing away from Ivy. He's like, all right, guys, I'm coming to B. And that's where Coldy is going as well. It seems like their fate is intertwined. It's a match made in heaven for Coldy and one in hell for Kenzor. Let's see which of those will be the correct destination to go to, though. Prosto making their way over. Spirit getting aggressive as well. It will be Chopper to take point. Yekindar should get taken down immediately. He peeks out for more. Lots of damage. And that could be enough because I disbalance. He's waiting with the AWP. Misses the first shot. Had to land that. And now they're coming in from on top of him. They're coming in from around him. They're everywhere. But I disbalance is prepared. Flareage right in front of him. Flashbang avoided. Goldie comes in from the side as well. 5-7 in hand. That's the only thing this man needs. AWP not even necessary. 15 seconds on the clock. I disbalance has been brought down. And Prosto finally get that 16th round that they were so desperate for.
Yeah, it takes them a while. It takes Nickelback to step up as well. But here is something, all right. Cast your mind back to that first half. Prosto had a pretty decent CT side. Team Spirit towards the end, their aggressive one-track style did work out, but across the board, across that first half, you know, it wasn't as consistent as maybe they would like. So we'll see. They're obviously a bit of a different team at the moment, revitalized and still got Coldy.
Yeah.
But
see, here's the thing, Scrib. I could tell you, hey, the Roman Empire took over the world, but that was 1,500 years ago, okay? Italy isn't taking over anywhere now. I'm sorry. Probably a good thing, too. But let's see whether Spirit is going to be Rome or, you know, modern-day Rome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yakandar playing from the Pop Dog area. He hasn't seen this place in a while. Kenzor now on the other side. Still in the same age-old duel versus Coldy. But this time he's saying, I'm the one on the receiving end. I'm the one who controls your fate. Might be unpleasantly surprised though. Bomb still in the back lines. Prosto will not know where they're going just quite yet. Lots of utility been used on the CT side. Ivan and Kenzor practically dry. Now, seems like time for Prosto to make a call about where to go. Setting up for the A execute, it seems like. Nickelback backing off, making sure he's got himself more of a secure position. Kenzor so afraid that Coldy might be coming. He's getting flashbacks, but now Nickelback will be the man to take charge. Yekindar finds one. Nickelback has to make it two. Sotfik coming in from the side. Will be able to overwhelm, though. Chopper gets that kill, and now it's a 3 versus 3. Sotfik and Chopper, both of them very low. Very doable round for Prosto. Let's see what they can make happen as Ivan comes through from the bomb train, gets the first kill. Kenzor and Flareage as well, able to get a few here and there, but I Disbalance is still alive. 15 seconds on the clock. Not enough time to work with.
Maybe going to look to get some more frags, but yeah, ultimately, I don't know, a little bit crazy from Team Spirit. I think they get screwed a bit with the timing. You know, the two-man pot dog play, they drop just as the Molotov goes down, so there's literally nothing they can do to avoid it. And it does make that one-for-one trade fairly messy, because it was also nearly a two-for-one. Because of the Molotov. So I think it's some little things, some little timing things not going their way. Pulling it fairly close, but I Disbalance kind of heavily lagging behind the team there. I think he was watching an angle down Ivy for a rotation for quite some time before actually moving in with the team. Although starting things off relatively well, he has certainly dropped off this game, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, that's an understatement to say the least. Prosto, you can just see Kenzor still so scared at Ivy. Gotta feel bad for him, but gotta feel bad for Sotfik, who just ran into the tracers of Yekindar. Flare, it's been flashed up completely. Smokes himself off, but Ivan's giving him some backup, and he's taking down the man on the bomb, and it seems like Chopper will be brought down as well. The incendiary not doing anyone any favors, leaving Samdai Young alone, and alone he will die. Prosto up to 18, and it seems like the Roman Empire has come to play. Will there be any resistance from Team Spirit?
Yeah, well, the only thing they have at the moment is that double overtime, of course. So more Counter-Strike to be played if they win this round. Prosto looking to clean things up, and I think ultimately it just comes down to, you know, being on that CT side, there is an element of just hold your angles. And that's exactly how they played it, really. You know, Coldy goes back to that. Kenzor waiting for the flash, actually gets sprayed down while Coldy is blind. That's
what a way! What a way to start off the last round of this overtime. You know, Kenzor dying to Coldy, not a good sight. 5 versus 4. Nickelback looking for blood. But it seems like Ivy might be liberated as Coldy and company are still moving through. No AWP in Coldy's hands. He is wielding the AK. They want to speed things up a little bit. Nickelback hoping for utility to be expended. Looks unlikely right now. Yekindar dodges the flashbang. And Ivan, he has to be the man to step up. 40 seconds on the clock, and they're all going to be coming towards him. Coldy's already made his way onto the site from the side. 35 seconds left, and he will be going in towards the bomb train. Ivan doesn't realize he's already made the crossover. Coldy now reveals his position as Nickelback will be able to hear one. Ivan gets the other. That's Sotpick to go down. Ivan with a second. Nickelback gets taken apart, and now Ivan's been spotted. Ivan is having fire rained down on him. Fleric trying to go for the 19, knows the bomb's being planted, knows he needs to act soon, trying desperately every single angle he can find, but it just isn't enough. And now he gets the kill, but is it too little, too late? Because on the other side comes Disbalance, and Sam Da Young will take it to double overtime. We're going the distance, Scriv.
We certainly are. We certainly are. Team Spirit just kind of picking it up in the end, as it were. This is not live. No, it isn't. All right. Okay. I was going to say, but yeah. I don't know. One of the things again though is Prosto will remain because you don't swap over when the overtime is extended. They will remain on that CT side. So if they can get the clean 3-0 to come into things here, then it could really help them out on that T side of things. But it seems both these teams, their T sides are the weakness, are the severe weakness for them.
Shout out to Pythian Legume, who is, you know, a ball of fight. But hey, anyhow, Nickelback waiting for anyone to come his way. Coldy's already breaking first blood. Coldy's breaking all the bloods right now. 3 kills onto the site. He goes. Where was this spirit before? On their terrorist side, Ivan and Flares now suddenly wondering what can they do to respond, and the answer to that, my friends, is wait for your untimely death. Ivan wanted to grow old with his wife and kids, but it seems like the Counter-Strike gods have something else to say about that. He misses the second shot as well. Fleric, in the meanwhile, is just comfortably sitting away in the B site, not perhaps remembering that in overtime there isn't that much point to save when you're playing 16k. Ivan hovering around in the smoke. And Fleric will end up going down. Ivan, the only man to stay alive, and even that, really, who cares? I mean, 16k.
Very true, very true. This is kind of the scariness though for me, at least looking at it from Prosto's perspective, because Team Spirit, you know, they look kind of good right there in that round. They win it fairly decisively. It's also an early T side round for them, which is something that, you know, we've said has troubled them in the past. So it does set them up well here
from your channel
in the third bout of overtime. They can keep things up though. Really don't know, Sam Da Young, I guess he must have expended all of his utility, but all the same, it's been another kind of slow start to the round. Prosto playing a hell of a lot more passive than perhaps they want to, because they're frightened. I think they are certainly shook against Team Spirit right now.
Absolutely. Definitely looks like it right now. But let's see what they can do to try and recover. Let's see what they can try and do to beat the Blues. And by that I literally mean beat the Blues, as in beat themselves. I disbalance. Oh, nicely done by Kenzor. Actually takes down Coley. That's a nice little change of the gauntlet. He will be able to take him apart. Now Kenzor still with the AWP, trying to fight off Ivy, saying, how about a taste of your own medicine? But he will be blocked off by a smoke because it seemed like Spirit actually know how to deal with that medicine. Ivan, in the meanwhile, waiting for a chance to take down Thick, but he will have to turn around for one on the chopper instead. Knows where Ida's balance is as well. Flashbang thrown forward. Ivan has to fight his way out. Yikinder in the meanwhile finds one. Sumdai Young left alone now versus two. He still has a chance in this round, but with 20 seconds left on the clock, it'll be hard to say the least. They're lining up for him though. 10 bullets in the magazine. Bomb has been picked up as well. He's trying to take the long range duel first. This could be a mistake because Ivan is up close and personal, and Ivan will take him down.
Once again, back and forth. It seems to continue. Having everybody step things up on the Prosto side, though. This is one of the issues Team Spirit have got with relying on Coldy so very heavily in their second half. Puts a lot of pressure on him to keep that up for so very long. You know, we're looking at like a game and a half of Counter-Strike at this point that is being played. So, certainly difficult for the individual to keep that individual prowess going. Kenzor and Nickelback, though, everybody, in fact, chiming in for Prosto. It is looking really, really good for them here. On their CT side, a 5 versus 2, now into a 3 versus 2, is what is needed from Team Spirit. Looking a little bit more doable as the round goes on.
And Ida's balance, he's already had a line's effort so far, but this line needs to continue to reign over as the king of the jungle. 3 kills to go. Chopper switches out for an op of his own. Wants to show solidarity, but he doesn't have HP. That's probably the real reason why he's picked up the AWP. Solidarity is nice and all too, though, I have to say. On the bright side, this time they have a little bit more time to work with. Chopper picks up the AK, but he regrets that. He regrets that so much. Ida's balance now has to go for the ace clutch. Got the tag, got the second shot as well. Now switches out for the AWP. Saw the player peeking over the bomb site. Knows the players could be anywhere, but Yakindar is the man to rain down from the heavens. 20-19. Spirit will now be facing off from their CT side, where Coldy on the AWP can once again be the man of the hour.
In theory. This,
in
again,
theory.
You know, right. It comes back to his consistency, his mental, I would say at this point. You know, the fatigue starts to set in. Play this long to keep your mind sharp this long. It really can be mentally testing. But of course, they're going to go straight to that double up setup that worked so very well for them in their CT side. Back in regulation, if you guys can remember when that was. But all the same, we'll see. It is a slight lead for Prosto. Obviously, 22 required here. Take the game. Whoa. The wall bang's not working out for Raven. Then he goes for a wide peek, in fact, instead of just continually wall banging. Ida's balance going to drop him early on.
And that is continually how Spirit CT sides went again and again and again and again. Just finding the early pick. And this time, I mean, the Kenzor versus Coldy duel hasn't even happened yet. And we know how that one goes. But this time around, things are looking different. Kenzor takes it away. And that means that Sumda Young instead has to come through and save the day. As he will find one onto Gekindar as well. Kenzor inching forward towards the A site. He's feeling good about himself. He's feeling like he's really overcome his demons, but does he realize there's still 4 more to go? 3 of their players all just clustering in together. The problem is that even though Sotfik and Chopper are all the way over towards the B side, they're playing connector, so they can rotate over very quickly. Ida's balance makes sure he doesn't have to care about Pop Dog. Scopes in, 1 shot on the Nickelback. Second can't come through, and Kenzor will overwhelm. But that gives Sumda Young a chance to come in from Ivy and reposition himself in a way that he can take down the player's long range, and Kenzor will fall to him instead. Flareich will be the final man to fall. 20-20. Team Spirit, take it away.
And I just, again, it's like these T sides are shocking from both teams, to be honest. You know, like, they just lose the initial control, and then it's really difficult on train to gain it back. Go for some very early peaks where they're a little bit disadvantageous, I suppose would be the word, and it's just, you know, not in their favor. They go for these questionable peaks, both sides, right? On the T side, they lose the man advantage by 1 or 2, and then in what world really are you going to be able to gain it back? It's really, really tough. They just make their T sides harder than they need to be. It is more and more frustrating watching it. I'm sure, you know, just as an impartial viewer of the game, caster of the game, but I'm sure as a fan of Prosto or Team Spirit, it must be pretty hard to see. You really had your emotions played with a lot throughout this game, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, that is for sure. I mean, I had some highs, I had some lows, I had some tears, I had some laughs. This game had everything. What? Titanic? You've got nothing on this. Leonardo DiCaprio has got nothing on Cold. But Chopper is the man who's trying to charge into the waters, but Nickelback reminds him that didn't end well for Leonardo. Good incendiary from Sotvic to make sure anyone who wants to go through will have to face a hell lot of damage. The elements not in their favor. Kenzar tagged down as well, but he wants to take charge, and taking charge doesn't end up too well for him. Sotvic is there to take the first. Sotvic is there to get the second, and the third will evade him. But it seems like Nickelback will come through on top yet again. Sumdai Young sees them backing off towards the A site, and he realizes that they must already be there, but a good grenade from Yekindar could be doing good damage. However, Sumdai Young already gone past the radius of explosion. Yekindar, this is perfect positioning. He could take on Idis Balance immediately, and he's got the kill. Sumdai Young may trade it away, but Prosto have put themselves into a great position. Coldy wants to drop down Flareich as well, right in front of him, 5-7 in hand, close range. That can be a headshot, and here it goes. Coldy's been brought down. Flareich now in a straight 1 versus 1. Sumdai Young defusing the bomb, waiting for Flareich to take the peek out, and he will be able to force the check. No, what? Flareich!
He played it way too safe. I think I respect the first time, okay, like, the amount of players, even with kits, that'll just tap the bomb and wait for you to peek. But the second time, I think, you know, going for the ballsy players is not ideal. He definitely should have peeked it. I think he thought that stepping in Pop Dog would stop. He really miscalculated. I don't even think Sumdai Young heard him stepping in Pop Dog. So, yeah. Bit of a misread situation. Flarich as well going to go down first in this round. It's a tough one. This far in a round like that, to lose it in that way, it's really not ideal, and everybody on the Prosto side is so very angry and annoyed. It's all down to Nickelback in a 1 versus 5 in 30 seconds.
I zoned out for a second. What? I legitimately don't know what happened right there.
Blink and you miss it.
I mean, Nickelback's alone, so hey. I can cast a 1v5 ace clutch scenario. Let's go. Nickelback flashbang forward through the smoke. A minute on the clock. No bomb. Odds stacked against you. Double up set up on the other side. 20-21. What? Okay. There it goes. 22-20. A short little game from us, and you know how it goes. I think we're gonna try and tune into Vitality very quickly, so no time for post-game thoughts. We're gonna be back in like probably a minute, maybe a little bit more than that, so don't worry too much. So we'll be back soon. Go get yourself some